What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are going to be discussing my basic military training experience during COVID-19. This is a part 2 of a 3-part series. If you haven't already, please pause this video right now and go check out part 1 because it goes right along with it. In part 1 we discussed 0 week to my 2nd week of training, pretty much the first 15 days of my military basic training. In today's video, in part 2, we will be discussing week number 2 up until week number 5. So stay tuned, subscribe to my channel, and this is part 2. And then we hit week 3, which was in the dorms for the first time. And honestly, it was like day 1 of training all over again. It was like we're just repeating the whole process and doing it all over again, but now we have a little bit of insight because they trained us and got us ready inside the tents. We all got together, and that's when you start realizing that not everybody in your flight is going to like each other. We had problems with each other in our flight. Our wingman hated each other. We always got called into the day room, which is in the dormitory. It's usually used for when the MTIs want to talk to you. You teach you something, that's your one chance to have a conversation with the MTIs, take the edge off, and learn new things. But we were called in there because there was arguments going on in the flight. There was feuds going on, and to try to work it out so the flight can better perform. At the end of BMT, people started liking each other, but there was always hatred among each other in the flight. People hated each other, yelled at each other, and that's just how it is when you put 26 people in the same dormitory together that have never seen each other, different personalities, all from around the country. So they don't click at first, but by the end of BMT, me and my entire flight, we ended up liking each other and we were one big family. But now, since we are in the dorms, we finally are COVID free. We went through the 2-week process. They realized we're all healthy and safe. They finally gave us our OCPS. We went down, grabbed our OCPS, got measured in our OCPS, got measured in our blues and everything. You'll go walk about a mile and a half, grab all of your stuff, put it in your big duffel bag, have to walk back. It'll be like 80 pounds of stuff. And that's when you finally realize I'm actually in the military. You have your boots on, you're getting dressed every morning, you have the camouflage on, you have your OCPs on, it's going good. And in the dorms, now they introduced beds. So bed drills. Bed drills suck. Bed drills are the worst thing ever. You have to do a 45-degree hospital corner on every single bed, or your bed gets flipped, tore apart, and told to redo it again. They would have us doing 3 hours of bed drills some days. So we never had to do this. We went from sleeping on cots and tents to straight up now actually having a bed. It's like, thank God, now I finally have a bed, no more of the cot and the sleeping bag. But now it's like, I wish I could go back because I didn't have to make a perfectly 45-degree hospital corner or do any of that crazy stuff. So we had these standards with the bed drills. I talk about it in a couple of my videos on the channel if you check those out. And the bed drills, you get really good at it. At first you really suck. You have to make a bed in 6 minutes and then help your wingman make a bed in like 6 minutes. And you get it down, you're pretty good after a while. But this was the first time it was introduced to us on week 2 or 3 because of the whole coronavirus pandemic going on. Each bed in between your bed and your wingman's bed is empty. They have it spaced apart so you have that 6-foot distance at all times. So when you are making bed drills and doing all of that, you are now required to make your bed perfectly tight, wrinkle-free with a 45-degree hospital corner, and the bed next to you that nobody is using, they have you setting that one up, making that look nice 24/7 so that the dormitory looks pretty good. So that's another standard from the COVID-19 pandemic that they never did before. Besides the beds being spaced apart because of the pandemic, now we just went from living outside to now in the dorms, and the shower situation at the dorms is way different than the shower situation outside in Tent City. In Tent City, you had your own curtain walls in between, and you had 3 stalls. 3 people at a time showered, shaved their face, and went back to the tents. You are in the dormitory now, and they give you 10 minutes. You have to run into the showers with like 25 other guys. There's like 25 shower heads. You're all sitting there taking a shower. You have 10 minutes to shower, shave, brush your teeth, get dressed, and be on the wall, ready to go. So that was every single day, twice a day. You do it in the morning and you do it at night. So that was a little bit different from the being outside living in Tent City versus now being in the dormitory. Now we went from having foot lockers on the ground to having a full out war locker, and we had specific locker requirements, meaning hang your OCPs in a certain order, hang your pants on the OCPs in a certain order. If your zipper was faced left instead of right, you're getting in trouble. If the hanger's a little bit not even, they want you to have like this much space in between each hanger. They'll come up to it and look at it and be like, why is that an inch off? That's not even. And then they'll take it all out and tell you to restart. They'll have your socks put away in a certain order, your toothbrush, razor, everything is a certain order in these foot lockers and in these war locker that you now get in the dorm room. And it's insane, but I guess it's to teach you some type of discipline or something like that. This is called your RLA, which is your recruit living area, and they want everything a certain way. They want your laundry bag hung up on a certain side of the bed at a certain amount of inches away from the post. They want you cleaning the floors and everything like that. Speaking of cleaning, now we are in the dorm, so now we got these things called details. Details happen twice a day, one in the morning and one at night. It's about a 10-minute checklist. At first, you clean up your entire area around your locker, entire under the bed, your bed, top of the locker, all of that type of stuff. This is called out by the dorm chief. He will call out every single thing. Say you guys got 30 seconds, he'll count down from 30 seconds, go to the next thing. It's a list of like 10 to 12 items of pretty much cleaning up your area. Right after that, you go into your specific job. If you have latrine crew, which cleans the bathrooms, laundry crew, who does everyone's laundry, shoe aligner, who makes sure everyone's shoes and boots are straight, hallway crew, which makes sure the hallway is vacuumed, the stuff is good. They have these guys on the floor, no vacuum, no nothing like that. They have them with little baby brushes going like that, trying to get every piece of lint off the floor, every piece of fuzz, and then they come over and inspect it and go, I see a piece of fuzz, you fail your inspection. So we did all of that type of stuff. I was on the latrine crew, so I just had to clean mirrors all day. So I just cleaned the mirrors. I didn't want to clean the bathroom, so we had the other guy do that. And we failed the first 5 to 6 times, and then eventually we passed like 3 and then failed 5 more. So failing doesn't matter really, because about 2 or 3 stations of all the stations combined in your flight can fail and you will still pass. And they'll just get on you about, you guys never pass, what's wrong with you? And then eventually you'll get better and start passing, and they'll start treating you a little bit better. So, because it shows that you're getting better at it. So this is all to teach you discipline, give you responsibility, and that's how details are done and how that all works. If you are going through BMT during the coronavirus pandemic, you will notice that your flight is now cut in half from the normal. So I had 26 people in my flight, and the average is like 50 plus. So that is why it is more strict and fast paced right now. You got 2 MTIs constantly staring you down. If you're doing something wrong, you're gonna get screamed at for it. You can't really slide by nowadays and go undercover without getting in trouble for doing something wrong. So if you do something wrong, they're catching it right away. We did have some funny times in our flight. Before we all started getting better, we had this one kid in our flight who would sneak peanut butter in. Everybody would sneak little foods in from the cafeteria. We would go to the DFAC and there'd be bananas, apples, protein bars, and peanut butter cups. These peanut butter cups, everybody would eat. Everybody in my entire flight ate peanut butter 24/7. They would sneak peanut butter back, bananas back, hide it in their locker. Some people would get caught and yelled at, but the funniest time that I can remember in BMT was when this one kid in our flight was told by the instructor to come up to him. This kid's been getting in trouble all week. He's on the verge of getting washed back and kicked out of BMT in general because he already received a 0 for the week of training. If he gets one more, he's gone. So the MTI calls him up, tells him that he needs him to write his name down on something. He goes to pull a pen out of his pocket, and a bunch of peanut butter cups fall out of his pocket onto the MTI's foot. The MTI just looks down. They both look down, and my wingman says, "Oh, how did that get there?" And everybody just looks, walks away, and the MTI looks straight up at him and just starts screaming in his face, saying, "Why are you bringing food into my dormitory? Why are you doing this and that?" And it's insane. It's the funniest time we had at BMT. It was hilarious. They were teaming up on this kid, screaming at him so badly. They were making him regret his entire decision of joining the military. But then at the end, they let him stay. They made it seem like they were going to kick him out, but they let him stay. He ended up graduating with us, thank God. That was just a funny experience we witnessed. Anyway, another job that we always did at BMT is called EC duty, EC monitors, and we would just be pretty much security guards of the dormitory. you would have one EC partner, and since it is now 26 people instead of the average 56 people, you have to do EC duty every single night for a 2-hour shift. That might be at 10 p.m. to 12 p.m. or 12 a.m. to 2 a.m., 2 a.m. to 4 a.m., something like that. You're going to lose sleep over this. It sucks, but everybody has to do it. You carry around your M16. One person stays at the door, and every 15 to 30 minutes, your EC partner will go around and check on the flight and make sure nobody's throwing up or dying. So EC duty is pretty much like you're a security guard of the dormitory, and the MTIs will conduct little drills while you are on EC duty to make sure you know your roles and make sure you are performing your job well. Everybody gets in trouble during this usually because they get thrown off guard, and they will announce a bomb drill, a fire drill, anything. So that is mainly why EC duty exists. In case a fire breaks out or somebody in your flight is getting sick, you are the first person to know about it. So a lot of people get in trouble during EC duty. I even did myself. So one day my MTI conducted a fire drill, and I was in the middle of sweeping the premises because while you are on EC duty, you're checking on everybody every 30 minutes, and it was my turn to check. And you also have to make sure the latrine is clear. I was in the latrine, which is the bathroom. They always make us call it the latrine in BMT. You'll go through that entire process yourself. And I was checking the stalls, checking the bathroom. I came out and everybody was running out of the building. I had no idea. And then my EC partner told me to go tell the MTI that there is a fire going on and to leave the building. And I went and told her that the building is burning down and she has to get out. And she just stared at me and I had no idea what to do. So then I cracked a smile, and it was brutally horrible. I completely got flamed for it for like 10 minutes straight, getting yelled at. She told the entire flight that you will not smile at me ever again, and that you have to take this serious and practice how you play. But I couldn't help but smile because the fire was in her office and she was just sitting at her desk. So that is my experience doing EC duty, and just try to make sure your partner knows about fire drills going on, and make sure you're always ready for those random bomb tests, fire drills, and gas drills. So that was my first 3 weeks experience. On week 4 and 5 of training, things started getting better. Our flight went from being a dysfunctional, arguing flight, always complaining, arguing with each other, always getting screamed at 24/7 by the MTIs, and getting told what to do, getting on our face, flamed, to do push-ups, smoked. We're doing constant push-ups, squats, sit-ups every day. They're making us do 100 push-ups because we're getting in trouble, and then later on we'll have to do 50 more squats. Sometimes, since we were now in the dormitory, we didn't get lucky because our dormitory was on the 4th floor, the highest floor of the squadron building. And we were on 4th floor, so every time we got in trouble, they would call out a bomb drill, smoke drill, gas drill, stuff like that, and we would have to run out of the building all the way across the PT area, across the entire running site, and have to stand there and wait for the MTIs to come. And if we forgot something or did something wrong on a normal day and we're at the bottom of the four flights of stairs, they'd make us go all the way back up, come all the way back down. One day, we messed up 4 times in a row. We went down, up, down, up, down, up, because someone either forgot their water bottle, forgot something, forgot a pen, forgot or did something wrong, talked, anything. So they had us going up and down, and the MTI would just take the elevator up and down, so she wouldn't have to run. And she just was sitting there pretty much laughing at us because we kept messing up, and she kept yelling at us, really. But it sucked being on the 4th floor, but that was my experience in my flight. We had to constantly run up and down. So we all went from pretty much getting yelled at and constantly yelled at to now in the 4th week of training, we're not even getting screamed at anymore. We are a functioning flight. We march perfectly. We get along perfectly. We do everything we need to do perfectly. We are all passing our PT standards. We are competing for one of the best flights, and everything is going good. You legit see you guys go from a horrible, dysfunctional flight to actually getting things done and getting it right, and no problems at all. Personally, even myself, I was getting screamed at every day for the first week or 2 for marching, and then they stopped yelling at me and started yelling at other kids until they got it right. And then I was getting screamed at for forgetting a hat or having my mask off or not saying sir or ma'am. And then it just started getting programmed into my mind, and I stopped getting in trouble. I was probably one of the most yelled at people for the first week or 2 of training in general. I was number 1 yelled at, and that stopped, and then other people started getting that. And then by 4th week, none of us was really getting in trouble. The MTIs were treating us like normal people, and we were actually a really good flight. Overall, we improved. Things did not get easier. They say maybe things got easier. No, it stayed at a fast pace, high standards the entire time. We ourselves just got better. So you guys yourselves will just get better. It will not get easier. Thank you guys for watching part number 2 of my basic military training experience during COVID-19. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like and subscribe to my channel because part 3 is coming soon. I cut this video short because I don't want it to end up at 30 minutes long. Part 3 will be out very soon. So if you enjoyed it, stay tuned. Part 3 is coming your way.